Thank you. What's up, everyone? I am Flurby. I'm going to be running Gears of War Ultimate Edition. It's the remaster of the original Gears of War for Xbox 360. Just going through fun gallery art. Not a whole bunch to say about the game other than when we get into it. So let me just go in here. Basically, it's going to be a new campaign. There'll be a brief load, brief cutscene, and then as soon as I skip, it would be when we start. And all of the speedruns for pretty much all Gears games are essentially on first difficulty casual, and I'll talk about why that is. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
So right off the bat here is the easiest decision you'll ever make in a speedrun. Do you want to play through the lengthy tutorial section, or do you want to just skip right into the action? Imagine which one we're taking. Yeah, we're just gonna go battle.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
So yeah, this is a third-person shooter featuring Marcus Fenix and the crew of Delta Squad. Right now, this guy Dom is breaking Marcus out of prison for some past transgressions because there's some kind of trouble brewing. We already have our first speed tech right in the game. Other than choosing the tutorial, there was a plane or helicopter, something like that flies overhead. If you're standing out here in the glass area, it actually causes you to flinch and pseudo pauses your game. You have to input a button to say oh, what was that? Point of interest.
I just noticed that they let you skip the tutorial.
Oh yeah, it really is. If I had to play through it, I don't know, it'd be rough. It'd be like playing the run for Gears 3. This is a weird configuration. Okay. So this is a cover-based shooter. As you can see, all the enemies are getting into cover, peeking out around it. There's a bunch of movement that I can do as well, sliding into cover, maneuvering back and forth on stuff, and even switching between them back and forth like that, or doing quick turns. The difference, some of the differences in this game to the original, this is Ultimate Edition, they cleaned up some of the movement collisions. This used to be very blocky right here. But then also, it's just a lot more fluid. There are certain cancels you can do out of the cover animations. Just a really, really nice experience compared to the original. Right there, we input a roll just as a prompt comes up, and so it kind of cancels out of the prompt, and we keep doing our roll animation, keeping us going forward. However, in this whole section, they're all dead. In this whole section, it doesn't really matter how quickly you kill all of these enemies. They're just the 4 out in the courtyard that matter, and then those dudes, we left them behind inside. They're doing their own thing, but we're waiting for this aerial cutscene where you got some helicopters going around doing their own thing. This guy's just gonna blow up for no reason. No one even shoots him. See ya, Chaozu. And since we got some frags, see if I can hit this. That looked into me.
Yeah, easy.
We made it. Wow. No worries. Okay, so around this time, this last guy, yep, he's coming in right now. And then we get into the real meat of the run. As soon as we skip through some of the cutscenes right there, I'm inputting... Oh no, I messed it up. Inputting certain actions right there. There's a little bit of black screen movement that you can do. Before the game has actually faded all the way in, you can control your character in the background and try to get a little bit ahead. I kind of messed it up right there.
Get up those stairs.
But we're gonna come up through here. And so right now we're fighting just the basic enemies. These are drones. As we go through the game, they're gonna introduce certain other types, grenadiers, snipers, etc., etc. Right there, we do a quick little skip. We kill the 3 enemies in that previous section and run up the stairs before there's another drone that comes downstairs. And about the time he gets halfway down, if you go up the stairs after that point, you actually get a really long, unskippable cutscene. And so that saves maybe 30-40 seconds. It's hiding in cover. The main weapon that I've been using so far is the Lancer Assault Rifle, but now off of these enemies I'm going to grab the Hammer Burst. This is pretty much the Locust. The Locust are the antagonists, by the way. The Locust variant of their regular assault rifle. You shoot in a little burst fashion. It's good for some things, but then the Lancer, it's auto fire and has a little chainsaw bayonet. But we don't really use that in the run. It's slow and you can get flinched out of it. It's usually a bad deal when you try to pull it up in the game.
Let's do this. I'll open the door. I've got the code.
I honestly would have figured you'd use it way more because from what I remember, it's like a one-shot, right?
Yeah, it does one-shot pretty much any sort of like small humanoid enemies, but like, you know, having to rev it up and get up to the enemies in the first place can be a little bit of a risk. Oh no, I missed that. Interesting. And I missed that one too. Sick. Please hold. There we go. Alright, so now that we sealed those E-holes, killed the enemies, this gate opens up. We can continue on down. You're going to see me dodge rolling a little bit every now and then, and people that know Gears 1 and Gears Ultimate Edition, they're going to be really confused why I'm rolling so much in a speedrun, because it's actually slower than running by itself. But the thing that they probably might not know is that in campaign, there is this kind of invisible stamina meter. And so I'm spacing out when I'm rolling to kind of refill that stamina so I can continue running. Otherwise, I would completely, you know, Marcus would get completely worn out, and we'd be stuck walking for like 2 or 3 seconds, which is much slower.
Sweet.
Right here, we're going to have a whole bunch of emergence holes. Did they throw one for me? What? If you can't tell by my reaction, that's extremely rare. The order of these E-holes is randomized, and thankfully I got like a pattern that was kind of alright. The very far E-hole that I threw at first is the riskiest one out of all of them. The rest of them are just like lobbing it at point blank range.
I think we're good. Let's grab some ammo.
Oh, the perfect reload. That's a great question. So in this game, there is a mechanic when you reload your gun called active reloading. When you time the reload, there's a little bar that shows up in the top right, and you can time your reload to hit a certain area. And if you just get a regular active reload, it's going to be a little bit faster. If you get a perfect active reload, a lot of the guns, it might reduce the recoil on them or increase their fire rate, and pretty much across the board, it's going to increase their damage in some kind of way. We are totally fine here. I got the checkpoint.
There's another nest around the corner. With a spotter on the right.
I'm genuinely surprised because you know, this game got a reputation as like the OG, you know, cover shooter. I'm genuinely surprised that like all of the checkpoints don't require you to kill all the enemies, you know, that you can just like run past some of them.
Yeah, and that's actually something that, like, as they continue developing these games, there's less and less that you can run past. But in the first game and then in the remaster, they stayed very faithful to that original bit where, like, yeah, there's certain things you can just run by.
Good job, man. Now let's go find that resonator.
So right there, this enemy, I didn't need to kill him. I needed to kill the other 2 or 3 in the room to get that E-hole to spawn in the back. And now after the E-hole seals, this guy comes in as the reinforcements, but there's another one. You just run past him, go to the door.
That was easy.
See you later.
Delta Squad. Any word from Alpha?
Negative, Delta.
There are a few sections in the game like this where they force you to do like walk and talk. You saw Lieutenant Kim, he had his fingers in his ear. Apparently we have communicators in our ears, but like you can't really see it.
We'll save him if we can.
And we go out here and kick.
Let's go.
Gonna stock up on grenades. So up here is one of the more difficult sections in Act 1. The whole game is divided into 5 different acts. But this is House of Sovereigns, huge little government area that the Locusts have taken over. We're gonna come up here and hopefully he throws, yep, the Nasher shotgun at me now. And every Gears veteran loves this weapon. Gonna come in here and try to hit a little bit of a lineup on an E-hole. Try to not get punched, thank you very much. And so this is the alternative to using the chainsaw. So why would I chainsaw when there's a rev up time
All clear.
and the potential that you get stunned out of it versus going in with the shotgun and hitting them with the one. Gotta move on, soldier. I'm already there. Alright, so we're gonna go up, and those frags are imprecise. I just kind of throw them out for good luck. They're easier in Gears 1, surprisingly, the original game. And I haven't quite fixed my lineups for this game. The physics for frags are different in like every single Gears game, and me being someone that switches back and forth between like Gears 1, Gears 4, Gears 5, you know, doing all sorts of the different games, it really messes me up. Oh no. We're fine.
The corner slide into peak is so fluid.
Oh yeah, I
I'm just impressed
absolutely
every
love
single
that.
Come in. Nice.
So in Act 1, Kim has the codes to open some doors, and so we can, in a few different places, try to push him around, get him a little bit closer to the buttons. Didn't get him like all the way there,
I've got the code.
but it does save time.
I think we just found Alpha. Move.
Oh yeah, in case anyone was wondering, there's a rookie recruit, Anthony Carmine. We lost him 1 or 2 cutscenes ago. He's not extremely plot relevant. But here we've got another really good example. Ooh, Dom's gonna help me out, maybe?
Get down those stairs.
Where we push Kim all the way over to the button. He likes to hang out by the windows over there, but we can get him right there where he just does a quick 180, hit the button.
Nice.
You're gonna jump, I'm gonna punch.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I'm back in the game.
Yeah, rip Carmine. Right here, we try to block Kim so that he doesn't block Coltrane, the new addition to the squad.
One and only, baby.
Ex-thrashball player, some sport similar to American football in this world.
We saw you play.
That's right.
Everybody wants to see the train. Everyone loves them.
I remember you owe me $20.
So right out here, we saw something crawling up the wall there. They're going to introduce a new enemy type. These are the Wretches. They're small little, as called in Gears 2, like little monkey dog things. All right, Dom, that's really interesting.
Hold here. Jack, rip this door.
Hula hoop in a painting, I guess. I was going to do that later, but he's still my thunder. But yeah, these Wretches, they like to jump on walls. They hop up and down. They go crazy. They scream like this guy's going to. Thankfully, they are pretty weak, and if you hit a good burst on them, they go down. So you just got a whole bunch of them in this hallway.
Keep those things away from Jack. There's too many. Fall back.
Okay, Dom trying to get in the way. No thanks. And after a
The
few
rag off the
shots...
ceiling.
Oh, the ragdoll is great.
Yeah.
The ragdolling in Gears, just like across the board, is one of my favorite things. Or when you body someone, you jib them, they explode into a million different little pieces. Here's a good example of my team not doing anything. Typical for any kind of
Do this.
shooter game, probably, where you have to rely on your AI to do a job. They don't do it.
Yeah, at least in other team-based, you know, I guess quote-unquote team-based stuff, you can control your team, or at least give them vague instructions.
Yeah, and so that's something you can do in this game after the first act.
Yeah.
So there are certain circumstances where Kim is no longer with us, Marcus gets promoted, and you can give squad orders out, and I'll talk about the use of that kind of when we get there. In the other Gears games, though, they don't have those commands for some reason. I thought it was pretty cool, but like I guess it was only slightly effective, and they took it out. Right here, I'm using a weapon called the Hammer of Dawn. It is a tracking beacon for this like orbital satellite that the Coalition of Ordered Governments, that's basically the human forces right now, they've deployed all these satellite laser beams into space, and so use the little tracking beacon to paint the target. After a few seconds, boosh, comes down. Come on, Kim. Sometimes if you're a little bit too fast through the door there, this next E-hole and then Kim turning the wheel to get across the bridge, they kind of forget to happen. Right here, you could throw a frag across, you could pistol shot, you could do whatever. Doesn't really matter, you have so much time while this bridge lowers.
Let's do this.
You play little beats with your pistol. I'm going for a little skip here. It's pretty much Kim warp. All the way up at the front, we're going to these set of doors where, again, Kim is going to have to input his code so that we can progress, open up the doors. But if hopefully they cooperate.
You lucked out.
Come on, game. They don't want to cooperate. Well, the dialogue gets interrupted, and then when his dialogue gets interrupted, he warps forward and opens up the door. Oh, you're a little bit late with that, Coltrane. I'm just going to be real. I guess I should mention the Hammer of Dawn, the thing I was shooting at. So these are enemies called Cedars. We're going to have a much better look at one right in here. So the reason these Cedars are an issue is that they shoot these like little nemesis things into the sky, those things. And they also have some sort of radio jamming effect. It's not explained extremely well, but it is a little bit of a concern. Oh, hi, Wretch. That's that. We're gonna come up here and shoot the little dresser or whatever that thing is, little furniture.
Let's do this.
Sometimes the AI teammates, they get stuck on that, or they do fancy maneuvers. We don't need any of that.
Come on, guys, we got to get Alpha.
Form up. I saw something.
Oh.
Scratch one.
You can actually hit a little double shot on those two wretches there. Didn't get it this time.
Control, Delta, come in, control.
In the original Gears 1, by the way, I would not have had to have killed this Cedar. I could actually drop down from the ledge up there. They just like missed a little bit of a corner on a collision. You can just roll off the top there and come straight down here. And what that enables, obviously you can like come through here a little bit faster, but then also because you're like kind of running ahead to a different checkpoint, there is the opportunity for a different warp that we can't do in this game.
Scratch one grub. Sweet.
Yeah, so actually, when I approached you about the show, I suggested Gears of War, but you suggested Ultimate instead. So what are the major reasons between the two, and why you preferred to showcase this one?
Yeah, so for me, a lot of it is that like Gears 1, the original thing, is very clunky. Like I was saying before, like some of the collisions are not intuitive, to say the least. The shotgun I complain about all the time. It is a random spread in this game, in the campaign as well. But like for some reason it just works better in this game. The aiming itself is very, very strange in Gears 1. Although if you have a Series X, the FPS boost seems to help with that a little bit. The issue with the frame boost is that there's a really big skip in Act 3 that I seem to not be able to do anymore. And so that's a little bit of an issue for me running that game. And then there are some other differences where at the end of Ultimate Edition in Act 5, there are some chapters that they were only released on the 2007 PC version of Gears. So like a lot of Xbox people, they might not have played it before. It's kind of the full story of what's going on. There's a little bit of missing story information there when you're playing the original game, where it's like you're just fighting a bunch of enemies, like, whoa, now we're hijacking a train. They explain why you're on that train. But yeah, there's stuff like that, minor strat differences here and there. it's overall just like, it feels way better to play.
Control, this is Delta. Come in.
And
Cover slide is so goofy.
yeah, and so here's, I was gonna say, here's a little bit of an example of what you can do with the cover-based system. You can kind of, it's called wall bouncing, where you're bouncing from wall to wall, or in this case, couch to couch, or if you miss it, you get a little roll like that.
Oh shit, man.
This couch has betrayed me enough. Oh, okay, or not.
Well, that's great.
They put the shield on it.
There we go.
They don't want to do it.
Sit tight. Take them out.
Also, they're random. It went through the floor. There are random paintings like this in Ultimate Edition that don't exist in Gears 1.
Hostiles!
I don't know, just random things you notice once you start playing these games like over and over and over.
Get ready. Here they come.
Okay, we're fine. That hallway is actually a little bit risky. I guess another difference between Gears 1 and like original and Ultimate Edition is Gears 1, like out of all the Gears games, is brutal in how much damage it takes to kill you. Like, you will die very quickly. In Ultimate Edition, it at least makes a little bit of sense. In Gears 1, it feels like once you start running the game a bunch, it feels like the game wants to round up the damage to kill you sometimes. It's like, yeah, like 80%, sure, you're dead. So right here, there is a Troika turret. It's just like a mounted turret. There's a dude on it. We can run all the way down this. This is another strat difference in Gears 1 versus Ultimate Edition. If you try that in Gears 1, the Troika is way more accurate and you will get fried. But we can just run straight on through, not have to worry about going through the side passageway. There's like a whole bunch of Wretches and like a chainsaw dude over there that has caused me some strife in past years. And then another room full of dudes that we can just bypass, not even going to look at them other than this one guy who might follow us up, and roll into an area where we have to walk and talk a little bit. There's a little bit of lore about Marcus's past transgressions as trials and stuff. Yeah.
This trial was a
Now,
shame.
this is all still in the prison, I guess, right?
So we're out of the prison. We're just like running through all the different government facilities.
Yeah, all the buildings nearby.
Yep. Right here, we're going to use the Hammer of Dawn. It has a really big splashdown radius, so we can try to get multiple kills on some of these drones down here. And then we're going to clean up a little bit with the Troika, hopefully. Oh, nice. The Troika itself has a little bit of RNG. The spread pattern is kind of whack compared to the original, but worked out. Hit some dudes behind there, and then, of course, our teammates not cleaning up the Nemesis in the sky. Not a big deal. Just a few of them. Yeah, that couch was made out of like adamantium or something. It was just not dying. All right, a little bit of a long load right there, but that's where Lieutenant Kim gets impaled by the main locust, like big bad General Ram. He just walks up the street, stabs him with a sword. That's a camera angle. Thanks, game. So we have this Berserker now, and yeah, she runs forward and tries to slam people. The game says that they're blind and they operate on smell and this and that. The way the game mechanics play out is slightly nuanced compared to that. But we're just going to lure her forward. Usually you try to get her to slam into the doors and open them up like that, but apparently the Berserker's damage is like explosive damage or something like that, or maybe the frags just do enough damage that you don't need her to slam into them. But we can just run through opening all the doors along the way. It speeds it up a little bit. Sounds like she got caught on something random. Oh, the double run. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, almost outside, and so we have to lure her all the way outside because Berserkers are very heavily armored compared to other enemies. I'm not going to do that strat. And you have to make them vulnerable with the Hammer of Dawn, so yet another use for this war-ending satellite weapon. And as mighty as she is, it just takes a single frag plant and she's gone.
It's all clear. Plan? What plan?
So right here, I'm trying to do a little bit of, I mentioned like the black screen movement before. Ooh, I'm stuck on something. Did I get there? Hey, I got there.
We're outside too.
So there is a little bit of a long run from where that cutscene is.
Units moving to your
All the way down, you jump over some stuff, you go around a corner, there's some obstacles, there's like a telephone pole in the way.
Great.
But you can overlap that dialogue that we just had right here and the cutscene, so probably saved like at least like 15-20 seconds of just doing that. Really sick.
I wanna ruin their day. Know what I mean? I bring the pain.
Yeah, I do have a Series X. I actually just got it like sort of recently this year.
Blocked. See if you
It's
can
way
find
faster
another way.
on loads, so that is a blessing. And then also it's a little bit more stable FPS wise. It wasn't really an issue that much for Ultimate Edition though. The FPS bit. However, the fast loads, I'm going to talk about that in Act 5. There are certain skips that
I'll take that.
having very fast loads is kind of a detriment. Sometimes you want things to stay deloaded.
Pulling back.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do things stay,
Save us
are
for
like
later.
cutscene triggers and stuff deloaded when you're moving in the,
Shit.
like at the beginning of this act?
I think you're batshit crazy. That's right.
What do you mean?
Like if you had been able to, I don't know, is there any time when moving in, you know, a black screen, quote unquote, or like a pre-mission screen?
Oh, yeah, any of
like
those-
deloads a trigger?
Yeah, there is a skip like that coming up. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with these guys.
Fall in.
There we go. Again, teammates, you want them to run up and they're just not doing it. But yeah, there are certain places where like while the cutscene is loading or while the map is loading, you might be able to move a little bit, get a little bit of an advantage, or like skip some enemy spawns definitely. So up top was our first sniper. He tries to, well, snipe. Some of the funny bits about Gears and Gears speedrunning, it's like, why are all the speedruns on casual? It's like, you do not want to play, you don't want to speedrun these games on insane. I am telling you, it is a mistake. It is not fun. It is very slow, and it's a cover simulator where you kind of
I could use a hand.
sit behind a block. Oh, you got shot one time. Time to go back down. I'm too red to peek. And snipers are some of the only enemies that, like, they can actually, at least in this game, in Gears 1, they can just headshot you and you're gone. Doesn't matter if you're playing casual or not. Like, they will destroy your life if they really want to.
Looking for somebody.
Shut up, man.
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember trying it on Insane, and yeah, it was just you peek up once, you're red, okay, go back down and wait. So
I actually made a video like some time ago about like, oh guys, casual is so easy, and then it's just like a compilation of me getting blasted over and over.
are there categories for Insane, or is it just one of those? It's like
It's just like one of those things, like if you want, like go ahead, but no one's really keeping track that hard. The only exception is, I would say, in Gears 4, there's actually, that's when they introduced inconceivable difficulty. Hello, sniper? There you go. I want to shoot the top guy first, but he's just not peeking. Inconceivable difficulty, which is supposed to be like harder, quote unquote, than insane. So like the difference is obviously is like the enemies, they deal more damage, and they themselves take more damage to kill. But inconceivable, they add like, so you take more damage, but you're already kind of one shot. So being more one shot doesn't matter much. The enemies, they actually lose some health in inconceivable. And then the other thing is like they reduce your ammo supplies. So like when you pick up, you might get like, instead of a full magazine, you might get like a quarter of a mag, stuff like that. But because it makes the enemies weaker, they don't like bullet sponge for, 6 hours each. You can actually play that one. But so Gears 4, the inconceivable speedrun is like 4 hours, 30 minutes ish, compared to under 3 hours. So it's like, you know, how fast can you really go on these modes? And that's kind of the primary reason why everything's on casual. Speedruns on Halo are a whole different story. You get shields, you recover, you don't actually just get eviscerated immediately, like asterisk maybe Halo 2, but like you survive a lot more. I promise you don't want to speedrun these gears on Insane. I kind of glazed over a bunch of things that just happened, so we ran past a Troika, closed an E-hole with this new boom shot weapon rocket launcher. There was a whole courtyard where some things were going down.
Yeah, I was gonna ask just to remind myself, because again, it's been, you know, literal like 10 years or so since I've played this game.
Yeah, well, one sec, get this girl off my street. All right, it's safe. Now keep going.
Okay. Whew. You have to close the E-holes with an explosion, right?
Right, yeah, so the E-holes, the Locusts are like these subterranean humanoid dudes. And so they emerge from E-holes, emergence holes. And yeah, you want to seal them up with explosives, otherwise, like most of them, they'll spawn, you know, anywhere from like 3 to 8 different enemies. And obviously when you're trying to go fast, you want less things to spawn.
There's gonna be a lot of locusts between here and there.
Shit, you got that right. You need to hit our checkpoints for some.
So I mean, this game is also really famous for like couch co-op. Like, what does that change for, you know, a speedrun? Is there, can like one person, is it just like people do more damage, or are there like, you know, trigger skips that you can do with 2 people versus 1?
Yeah, there are a few things you can do. It hasn't been heavily explored or routed, just because the community is a little bit smaller, right? But there are definitely places I know of in this game or in the original Gears 1 that if you're doing co-op, you can actually go out of bounds a lot. There aren't too many like out of bounds skips or anything like that when you're playing single player. But when you're playing co-op, there are weird little things that you can do with collisions, like nudging each other out of the map and get past the little corners and stuff like that. That I think would be really cool to see. And beyond that, if you're not doing like local co-op, if you're doing online co-op, some of these Gears games, like Gears 2 especially, are very broken. When you're playing online, there are like basically barrier breaker glitches that you can do on any map, like anywhere. And so it's just a matter of like, you know, who wants to do enough co-op runs to route it out. I think Gears 2 has potential to be like the sickest co-op run I've ever seen.
Nice. I mean, I'm definitely interested in that, you know, if that happens. So
yeah. If people are wondering why there's a Gears 1 Insane run on YouTube, that's a segmented run, guys. Segmented is its whole own little challenge. You don't want to do it for RTA. Each of those segments, I read and like listened to the thing that was like Brassmaster and Yokai. They had like hundreds of attempts per little checkpoint. It's, yeah.
that's rough.
And so like imagine trying to get that lucky in an RTA run. Like it's probably just not gonna happen.
Stay under the lights.
Yeah, I was just curious because there's, you know, for like BioShock, there's 1989 difficulty for Infinite, and then obviously Halo Legendary and stuff like that. So.
Oh, I didn't get that dodge roll. I'm disappointed everyone who watches me. You can get on top of this piano. This is just a fraudulent run now.
Gotta reset. Dang.
Gotta reset. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching GDQ. We're done.
Johnson, check the lights. Yo, man, you better keep moving. Checkpoint 2 is
I love how they're almost a parody of just like machismo in this whole game. The writing of this game is great.
Yeah, Gears, they do this thing where they like toe a line between being like extremely like tense and epic and stuff and dramatic to being just over the top goofy with some sequences.
Yeah, the Coltrane just screaming constantly.
Okay, that guy does not want to die. Very good game, very good.
The cover is blocking him.
That's some of the business with the shotgun being a random spread. You never know what you're gonna get. Right there, just a quick reload on the checkpoint. That's something I can't do on, I couldn't do previously. Now that I have a Series X, it's faster to reload the check than sit there and listen. But I launch a boom shot all the way across. There's an E-hole opening over here. And we don't have to deal with a whole bunch of enemies. The whole big gimmick in this Act 2, by the way, is there are these propane tanks that I've been shooting to produce a little bit of light in the area. And since it's nighttime right now, we need the light to be protected from these krill. They're like these little bat swarm things that will eat you up if you're in the dark for too long. And right here, this is one of the things the devs probably thought they fixed. In the original Gears one, you can just run straight down to this door and not have to worry about anything. Now you have to shoot that propane tank for the door to open, but you also just have enough time to do that. They expect you to go up in the building and like all the way around and flank the propane tank, but like kill all the other enemies up there too. Don't have to do that. And there's Dom teleporting. So a little bit more just bypassing certain enemies. You can dodge roll cancel through some of the krill. If it's at the very end of it, you can't do it indefinitely. Like you can pretty much only get one roll in before they really mess you up. So you want to make sure you're getting into that safe zone in the light by the end of the roll. And speaking of light, so right here we have this big spotlight that the game wants you to escort Dom all the way across down the street. He's going to hit a light switch that's going to illuminate the whole area. But we can actually run into the building early, going through the second door. That's a little bit of a risky bit. Dom might die doing Dom things. But you can aim that spotlight down the street, and when you reload the checkpoint, it counts like the light is still pointing over there for some reason. And so when we go out here, even though it looks dark, you can hear the krill like evaporating to the light once you come through.
Nice.
So you come through, just another quick load checkpoint. That's not for me in particular, it's more for Dom, because as he tries to run to catch up, he doesn't know how to dodge roll cancel the krill. And so we just catch him up a little bit. You can go through that wall, no big deal.
It's Marcus, come in, over.
There's some bad shit in there, so you better watch out, huh?
And please don't troll me. Oh yeah, I would have died. This section, whoever's controlling the lights here, the stranded, it's like the third party guys who aren't in the cog. They're obviously not Locust. But we're taking a little trip down here to get a little junker car. That guy, he trolls the lights, and he's like, oh, I'm just messing with the lights, haha. But then some of those ahas get you killed, so you have to really be careful when you enter that room. This little car is running down, and it's like, oh no, we're gonna hit the block. And just pops us on top.
So friendly.
Yeah, very polite, Stranded. Thank you, thank you.
Look at this place. You burned half the neighborhood down.
So we've arrived at where the this junker car is, but it doesn't have fuel yet, so we've got to pump it in. We're gonna start the pumping. We can jump into here a little bit early, right when the dialogue hits. The light doesn't turn on until Marcus says we're the junker. In the original Gears 1, it's like, that's another, there are minor differences like that, where it's like, you know, the timing might be a little bit different. You might have to wait for a little bit more dialogue. Alright, Dom, we get it. You like tick dancing. Sick. Right there, I'm using the squad commands to get Dom to come to the door of that gas station. You do need him for this next section, for all the enemies to spawn. Here we're gonna get a few different waves of enemies that are going pretty well so far. Yeah, I use that chainsaw. Good job. Oh, you're back there. There we go. Not too bad. that section can go really, really quickly. So like in those 3 different enemy spawns, you saw I was throwing frags or like using explosives in general, using the boom shot a little bit in there. Just by the nature of you using explosives, if the enemies decide to cluster up, you can go really fast there. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, it also seems like the explosion radius is like gigantic.
Yeah, and again, more differences from the original game. The frags in Ultimate Edition, they're a little bit more potent. They're a little bit lofty when you throw them, but they do explode very nicely. And it's just different every single Gears game, so it's something you have to kind of keep in mind. The first grenade I threw over there in that gas station clear, in Gears 1, I try to skip it along the ground. For some reason, in Gears 1, when you throw them, the frags are really, really heavy, but they bounce a lot. In Ultimate Edition, they hardly bounce at all, and so you have to like readjust your angle where you're throwing it. So obviously a little bit of a driving section here. The gimmick here is this junker car. It's only good enough to drive straight forward, or you can power this UV turret that you can use to like shoot off the krill. For the most part, we don't have to stop and do that though. We outpace them in most of this area. There's just going to be a few places where I might need to stop and shoot for safety. And again, that's where like me having a Series X kind of makes things difficult sometimes. The frame rate boost can get you killed up here. And it's like I'm already not great at driving this. Alright, so please no kill. I am barely alive. Alright. Love that. This could be a problem.
I believe. You got this.
I'm essentially, even though I've got like this little sliver left, I'm essentially one shot. Like, that little last bit of health goes real quickly.
One of you is. Look out!
There's just one jump coming up where I might have to get creative. I'm not really sure how this is gonna go.
Dude, I'm tense. You got this.
Yeah, we'll see. There's so many. The one's gonna kill me. Oh my god. The one's gonna kill me. Get him off. We're fine.
See? I told you. You gotta believe.
Oh my god. Please no. Alright, I'm like not even gonna try to hit these extra debris cars. They can blow up and damage you too, like barely. Ooh. Yeah, this section on Insane is rough. It pretty much comes down to like memorizing the spawns, and sometimes even like that's not enough because they come at you from so many different angles. So here we've got a little bit of a holdout fight. Alright, that guy's just gonna retreat. Cool. Where are you going, homie? There are going to be a bunch of different E-holes and just different objectives. There are going to be enemies up in the sides, shooting down at us. In the order of these 4 objectives is randomized, and you just kind of have to react to each one. This is another difference, that in the original Gears 1, there's a whole building like right over here that is filled with enemies that you can't kill, but they can kill you. Like, they will absolutely destroy you while you're sitting on this Troika turret. It's just awful. Thankfully, they removed it for Ultimate, and it's not so big of a deal. Optimal use of health resource on that last part for the driving. Definitely, it's all planned. So now that those 4 little, like, mini objectives are done, there's just going to be a whole bunch of dudes in this house. And it's kind of difficult to see, just from the camera shake. The FPS definitely messes with it. And even normally it's kind of hard to see what's going on. It's very dark in there. Oh, there's another one. But just do your best and clean them up. And this guy, oh no. Didn't get him before he crossed. unfortunate.
Got one.
And you're using the pistol just because your other two weapons are really bad for range.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
so
not now.
I
You have
have
the sniper, but
yeah, now I have a sniper, but it's like, you know, right before I have an empty boom shot and a shotgun, right? So
yeah.
right here, you can throw down a whole bunch of frags. They want you to kill the boomers before the end of the section. And it looks like some of the explosions did not do their job. You can actually do a quick kill. There's like a little propane tank that you can shoot behind them, and it'll drop down a larger propane tank to kill them all, but you can kill them before that thing even is available. Storm's coming in.
Control, this is Delta Squad. Our vehicle is DOA. We're now on foot. Please advise.
Not too bad. So right here, a little bit of a chill section. Just going to be a lot of movement. So like I was saying before, you know, there's this invisible stamina meter in Gears 1 and Gears Ultimate campaign that you have to kind of pay attention to. You can't just straight roadie run it down. Throwing in the dodge rolls there to recover. And right there, I probably messed it up. Yep.
Control, we got what looks like glowing wretches out here.
Copy that. We've had reports of lambent wretches before.
A little bit of a spooky ambient section.
Be advised, they are
Wretches going all over the place, and these ones are lambent now. They're glowing, and when you kill them, they go boom. So gotta watch out. Not so big of a deal for the speed run, but they can get in the way sometimes. Definitely on Insane. I'm sure there's sections in here that people remember too.
I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, I remember this distinctly, like, turning horror as the game went on. At first it was just, you know, cover shooter with a bunch of gibs.
Yeah. Blow. Nope. And that's what happens when you mess up your reload.
Their explosion radius doesn't seem as big as
No, it's
I
really
would
not
expect
bad.
it to be.
Yeah. It's more flashy than anything.
Yeah.
So one thing people may not have realized up until this point, just a quick mechanic about the game. So Gears 1 and Gears Ultimate Edition, you actually shoot from the center of your screen, like not your gun, except for very specific circumstances, like if the barrel of your gun is sticking into the wall or something like that. All of the other Gears games, you actually shoot from the barrel of your gun, so aiming has its own little tricks to it. You have to angle out, like if you're trying to shoot straight forward and stuff like that. But it has certain little implications when you're doing the cover-to-cover shooting. You can like pop off the cover, and since you're shooting from a camera, you angle your camera over the cover and like kind of shoot down to the other side. It's just cool little stuff like that that makes this game so fun.
Control, this is Delta. We're
In this section, you have to go press 2 buttons to enter. Whichever side you choose, left or right, it's going to be wrong, and you have to go to around the other side. A little bit annoying.
Let's just find that control room. Watch out for the boogeyman. Just see if you can get the lights back.
And I guess also a good opportunity to explain like just what even is going on. I've mentioned like there's these locusts and we ate them, and or the cog. So the locust, right? These subterranean dudes that are trying to kill us. There's more stuff going on that we discover in Gears 2 and 3, but basically in this whole game, it's the cog trying to figure out what's going on and take this device called the resonator to map out the underground tunnel network and just figure out where these locusts live. And at the very end of the game, there's this, like, essentially a nuke, but, you know, it's called the light mass bomb. The plan is to deploy that into the tunnel network and take out the locust. And so right now we're going to a place where, like, underground, that we can deploy that resonator that we have.
As planned, but we have a stranded with us. No shit.
So now we have a little friend, a little stranded dude. He has to push a button just like Kim, so we're gonna push him, push his buttons all the way up. make him walk halfway across the room.
Such a friendly guy, just walking straight into him.
Yeah.
Delta 2.
And it's kind of a sad story for this little stranded guy. He's sitting there, holed up, waiting to be rescued
Give us Delta 2.
by like anyone. And he kind of sticks around with us. He has no real choice.
Shit everywhere.
When we go up the corner over here, there's going to be a little bit of dialogue like, can't we just go home? And just acting like a lost little puppy, like, please, like, I just want to play, I want to go home, I want to blah, blah, blah. Marcus is just going to tell him, like, no, we have work to do. And he follows us a little bit more, and then he's not going to last long.
Screw
Unfortunate.
You, man. Get down here and see how much you like it.
Yeah, it seems like
It's a fucking party down here.
NPCs in this game don't,
We'll see you at the
besides your
cars.
squad, really don't have a long lifespan set up for them.
No, they're more just like little decorations. You know, you put them up when the season's right, and you take them back down later.
We've got work to do.
Yeah, see, here's the dialogue, just like, like, I hate you, Cog. I just want to go home. I want to be safe. Right here is a little section where we have to walk slowly on some very fragile floorboards, and there are a few different RNG pathways that let you get across. Or really, there's just the one path, and it's RNG which one you get. And one of them is like 30 seconds faster than the others, so hopefully we get that. Also, around this time, that little stranded dude that we just met, he's gonna fall down in there somewhere if he hasn't already. Oh no. Bad path it is.
Dang. Yeah, I was gonna say how you knowing, but I guess it's just from the boards.
You know. Yeah. The end of it is, right, like, just getting across to... I'm just gonna check that, even though I doubt it, yeah. The last 3 boards around the final destination there is what dictates the whole thing. So the good path, straight line forward, just about. Bad path, you have to kind of snake around.
Eyes on target.
Engaging. Actually, I didn't even hear the stranded scream. Like, they actually just killed him off screen. Like, usually he screams and falls down into that room full of wretches underneath the floorboards. But, like, they didn't even give him the voice line. They didn't do him justice.
I heard a lot of screaming through there, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah. Here we've just got a whole bunch of wretches crawling around. Hopefully Dom helps, or he can just sit and look pretty, I don't know. And after we kill them all, there's a little bit of a delay for this door to open. I'm gonna walk backwards against it, and I'll just know when it's open.
I love the music continuing to play.
The music in this game and like in these games is just so fantastic. Like, I casually listen to the Gears soundtrack sometimes. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah, who did make the music for this? Because they really went off with this.
I do not know. I feel like I should know, but I don't. Is Dom coming? Is he doing this thing again? Oh, I caught it early. Come here. No. You need Dom to round the corner for you to get this next checkpoint and continue the game. Sometimes you get stuck somewhere in that hallway. But we reload a checkpoint right there. There's a really long dialogue sequence where we get reunited with Cole and Baird, who were taking a different path into the building, going underground through the sewers and stuff. Okay. You really just get down, Mr. Presidented.
Are you ever able to play that sewer path if you play co-op, or is that just
No,
available?
it's not available to the players. When you're doing co-op, player 1 is Marcus, player 2 is Dom, and so Dom just sticks with you the whole time. It's one of those things where it's like, it's more for the over-the-top humor of like when you find them and you see them underground below the grating. Baird's complaining about like how bad it smells, like, oh my god, this is gonna kill me, and Cole's just being Cole. They're really trying to Get down, Mr. President, over here. So only certain enemies in this room are needed to kill, and then you're on timer for Jack to rip this door open. Jack's a little bot, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Trying to see if there's like a wretch on the ceiling or something. There's one over there. Oh, there he goes. Just ping him and he's gone. But yeah, there are wretches jumping all around this room, and you pretty much don't have to kill any of them.
Control, this is Delta. We're at the cart control room.
Copy that, Delta.
Yeah, speaking of music, the Coltrane rap.
Man, you shitheads need to get in your own carts. No way am I standing next to you.
What? Let's just get this over with.
Woo! And this is everyone's favorite part of any speedrun. The good old auto-scroller.
Perfect.
Oh yeah! Control, we're headed into the furnace.
So we're just cruising through, chilling. Marcus can hit a little bit of footwork right there.
Anywhere, now!
I'm just not good at sniping, huh?
Lock and load.
But yeah,
I'm
you could
surprised they
literally
didn't give
just...
you any-
what were you saying?
I was gonna say, I'm surprised they didn't give you energy to speed this up.
Yeah, I wish I could just like hit the nitrous, or like, can I get the Mario Kart like drift back and forth and get the sparks so I can get a little boost, you know? Like, come on.
Get out and run alongside it.
It would actually, like, not even kidding, it would probably be faster if you could just run on the tracks, because every time you hit a turn, it's got this slow little animation around it. Anyway, while Marcus is hitting some footwork, I'm gonna hit him with a little beat if that's okay. And that guy's trying to kill me. All right, we're good.
Dang, man. That was nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I do a lot of that on stream, especially in these like slow parts. It's like you got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah, you mentioned before the run, you're like, I'm gonna beatbox. I was like, okay, I don't know what to expect, but let it rip. That was awesome, dude.
Yeah, I've been beatboxing for like what, like maybe like 4 years or something. Like on and off, taking it seriously, not taking it seriously. I should practice more, but I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah.
This stuff. Here's some of that Gears humor. There's a boomer over here on a platform with like no way for that boomer to even get there. Like no bridge, no tunnels, no railway. It's like, why is that even there?
Delta, do you read?
He was bored there, he'll die there.
I copy. You're almost there. The drilling platforms are straight ahead in the core.
But there are parts where like with the Gears soundtrack, I'll just like start putting over my own, beat on top of it, remixing it up. Not as useful right now because like the way we have GDQ stuff, there's like a different audio delay, but it's fun. Come through on my stream, guys, if you want to hear that. Maybe we'll throw in a few more sound effects randomly. So we're almost at the place where we can go underground and deploy the resonator. Or I guess we're just almost underground. Deploying the resonator is its whole own little trek again.
Control, this is Delta. We've entered the core room.
Stand by, Delta. I'm raising the platforms for you.
Right here, there are going to be a couple boomers spawning on the platforms below. Get off me. Oh, I think I got my active reload too early. Whatever. Just kind of pre-shoot them a little bit. You're alive from 2 snipes. Woo.
How important is it to hit headshots in this game as opposed to like just being able to hit, body shots or whatever?
It's very important. Hold on, I gotta hit the moonwalk beat. All right. Anyway, the the headshot bonus it's actually different for each weapon. I've gone into the numbers of I've gone into the numbers of Gears 1, but it's very, very similar, like in Ultimate Edition and the other games. But yeah, the headshot multipliers are huge. So like as much as possible, you want to hit the headshots.
Damn.
There's some guns though where it's like it might not necessarily matter though, because like they're just gonna die in one shot anyway. That's like typically the case for like drones or wretches. Like wretches, you just want to hit. Like it's hard to hit their head. They're small and fast. You just you take them out. So here we run on through. Back there is actually one of the places where I would have done a big Act 3 skip in the original game. But instead, we have to run down here and play through a little bit more of the level. There's kind of a mini Act 3 skip coming up. Yep. So here we're just going to take out a few wretches to hopefully help with... There's some frame rate issues when we do this skip. We'll see how it turns out. So we kind of nudge off on that little waterfall, find a little angle right about there to walk forward, and then we can jump straight out of the map.
Oh, nice.
And there are enemies. If you watch carefully, there was an enemy. Oh no, don't do it to me. Yeah, the enemies like to teleport down here as well for some reason. Nice. But we skip a whole bunch. There's like a whole section where you split left and right with Dom and you take separate pathways. And it's a very dangerous section. But we can skip a whole bunch right there just by doing that. I'm actually going to play this part very, very safe. This hallway is like one of the scariest things after the skip. It's like a very tough fight after something that, like, if you fail it, you're getting sent back in minutes. We good? Nope. Sick. That was actually really good.
Let's hammer us. There's no going back.
All the way back in at the beginning of Act 2, there's this big, like, spider-like beast called a corpser that was kind of teased, and Baird is saying like, oh, it's following us, and now here we finally encounter it. And I don't know, people might remember this boss fight, might not, but the boss fight, it's not too hard. Kind of winds up getting ready for an attack. You shoot its soft underbelly, shoot it in the face, repeat 3 times. And even on Insane, like, it's super easy. The one super cool thing that you can do on the original game is actually like crawl inside of its legs while it's backing up. They fixed that in Ultimate Edition. You get crushed, but it's kind of cool just like chilling inside of it, doing weird stuff. The animations get really strange.
It's such as being able to like shoot it faster.
Yeah, so like you don't have to wait for it to like bring its legs up to attack, right? Like you're just already inside of its leg threshold and you just shoot it.
Nice.
So again, more of that metering out the stamina, trying to throw in a roll at the right time so that I can keep roadie running. If I run for too long, I'm going to be forced to walk a little bit, or like walk, roll, walk. It's still slower than just being able to run all the way.
Whoa.
Iconic.
Hey, Marcus. How much do you think all that...
A little bit of ammo.
I don't think I can count that high.
So coming up here, there's going to be yet another new kind of enemy. It's going to be the Theron guards. And so they are... imagine the drones, but just armored a little bit better, and they've got like this explosive torque bow weapon. It's like a... Think of like the explosive like Rocky crossbow or whatever. Was it Rocky? I don't know. Anyway, it's a crossbow or like a little bow gun. Charges up, shoots a little explosive arrow tip, and does a lot of damage.
Oh, shit. Looks like they upgraded.
They're called Theron guards.
Well, we're not here to sell.
Oh, nice.
So they know something's up.
So there's a really specific clear that you can do in here. That might have been too early on that side. But you can kill a whole bunch of these dudes while they're spawning.
You think? I hadn't noticed.
I threw that like a Gears 1 frag. Again, like the issues of going back and forth between different games, dealing with different frag physics, and hey, it's still going all right though. I would take this clear any day of the week. What's he doing? Where are you going, dude?
Who's next?
The fight's over here.
Nice job. Okay, time to go home. Baird, you set up the
Oh, Rambo? Yeah, you're right, guys.
back online.
It's like I knew it's some kind of short R name.
Rambo, Rocky.
Incoming.
Yeah, I mean, like, same thing,
I was
really.
gonna say same thing, but I'm from Philadelphia, so well, I live in Philly, so I will be
exiled.
yeah.
You're in Act 4. This opening courtyard is actually pretty tough. There are a bunch of enemies like all over the place. If we have an extra frag, it gets used here. But instead, we're just going to go around. Once you kill the sniper on one side, it's going to spawn and some dudes over here. There's going to be another Theron guard somewhere. Oh, where's my guy? There he is. Now we're going to pick up that weapon and get to use it here on the boomers. So boomers, again, the big rocket launcher kind of enemies. One torque bow shot takes them out. Now we're gonna sit. There's some enemies like up here in the windows. They kind of retreat after a while. You can kill them, but it's like hard to get a good enough angle to kill them before they just do their thing anyway. So you just hang out. Nice. So in here, there's I like the movement in this house. It's very specific, trying to get through, and just like in a lot of these areas, very specific movement to make it look fluid and not just like kind of blundering around. All right, here we're gonna put our torque bow on the ground for this Hammer of Dawn, the weapon we used in Act 1. And there's a cedar over here. There are also a couple other enemies that we need to deal with. So like after that first blast, I'm gonna take some time to, while I see them, take out the drones. Here he is behind the bush. And so those are the only other two enemies we have to kill in this section, other than sealing an E-hole that spawns right here where I'm going to hold the Hammer of Dawn. So hopefully that's good enough. Yeah, we got the... Baird, are you okay?
What was that sound you made?
I don't know. Sounds come out of my mouth. I have no idea.
Oh, I thought that was Baird. I didn't think that was you. Incredible.
It might, I'm not even sure what we're talking about at this point. Could have been me, could have been Baird, could have been the game. I have no idea. Way back, there's it's a fun little thing. So like with me making random sounds, beatboxing, just doing stuff. With some of my roommates, we'd be like out and about in the town, and like at nighttime, someone would drop on all fours in the parking lot, like, oh no, he's going primal, he's going into a wretch, and we would just start making wretch screams like in the middle of the night. And so like I don't want to blast anyone's eardrums out on this stream, but like you can get pretty close to what wretches actually do in this game. Right there, again, a whole bunch of enemies that if you know which ones you have to kill, you just kill only those, leave the others, and proceed to the checkpoint.
Delta 1, Delta 2 is caring for wounded and flagging for pickup. Is the Conservatory clear?
As far as I can tell, Delta 1.
Then that's our route.
Making our way through the town. Oh man, the sliding and like turning quickly around cover in Ultimate Edition compared to Gears 1, it just feels so good. Like seriously, if you haven't like compared them side by side in a while, it's a whole nother level. The FPS boost on Series X helps a ton on Gears 1, but like if you're comparing like Xbox One, there's just no match. This is way too early. Throw that in the trash.
And I assume the torque bow can close e-holes too, yeah.
It sure can. And that's what I was doing right there. So I've only got one bolt left. I'm gonna try to get a double kill here. I think that's right. I'm just so good at the game.
Tell me those speedruns are ready.
Affirmative.
Well then, okay.
True gamer.
Let's drop
They're
it.
little pop-offs like that when I get like these like kind of hard strats, and I'm just like, yes, let's freaking go.
Situation's foobar here. Hostiles everywhere.
You have to stick the second boomer like on the front of his arm or like on his hand so that it's far enough forward that it actually splashes.
This day just won't end.
Because the torque explosion radius is not actually all that big. So we picked up another Hammer of Dawn. There are no more Cedars right here, but there is going to be another familiar face. Gonna have another Berserker. She's gonna show her face right here, peeking around the corner. Hello. So you can't do anything about it just yet.
Try to get around her quietly.
Kind of bring her all the way over here. And then this is the room where we can start using the hammer. Oh, you're not stunned. That is fascinating. Oh. Chilling.
Never worried, never stressed.
I've never died there, like literally ever. You can't find a clip of it. It's impossible. Run through the fire after. There was the big red wheel was for like the extinguisher system that we just beat by the time we get there. Yeah, so Berserkers, sometimes they don't like to get stunned by the Hammer of Dawn, and they'll, you know, dash forward and kill you. It's just a thing. I'm actually going to try to save this frag. See if we can do anything. There's an E-hole over there on the far left, but I'm pretty sure that one doesn't matter. It's really just the other one over on the right. And we can drag the hammer beam all the way across. It lasts just long enough that we can seal both the E-holes in one hammer. It's pretty sick. So here, there's some Therons up top shooting. There's some Nemesis coming down from the skies. This guy is trying to end me. All right, well. Yeah, it's the first one of the run. I'm not even mad. All right, gun didn't shoot. Love it. Yo, where's your hammer burst? What are they doing? It's like I was concerned about the Nemesis killing me, and then this other guy dropped down and got me. But there are, in each building, a few dudes that drop down. You can kill them early, but it's kind of hard to get into position for some of them. They have iframes like all the way while they're jumping down. So just aim where they're gonna land. Excuse me. Nice. Right here, a little Gears humor. They're teasing you with a Theron all the way over there. We'll meet them later.
Eyes on target.
Take a different path, come back around. Got you guys with the Mad World. Yep. There are a whole bunch of enemies up here that if you kill them, it doesn't matter. Like those ones that ran by, they actually just, I don't know, they're ghost enemies or they respawn or something happens to them. Even if you frag them all out. Use a very specific angle there so we can shoot the boomer, but he can't shoot us. And coming up here is going to be one of the harder parts of the run. I guess it's maybe not so bad on Ultimate Edition. Now that I've said something, I'm just going to die like 50 times. Anyway, I call this the RNG Pavilion because the setup for where these enemies are, it can be like anything. There are like 5 or 6 different enemies hanging out down here, and just where they are when you enter is so random. And actually, that's a good spread. 3 up front. Let's see if that hits. Those dudes will end up chasing us. I'm gonna skip a checkpoint just to get that benefit. We'll see how it goes. Usually you would get a checkpoint right here, but since those other guys are still alive, if we die, we get reset all the way back there. Whoops. Why would they do that to me? So your aim can get flinched, as exhibited right there. Flinched enough to make that boom shot go off course, but all fine. We had another one. Come up here, hit these guys, and then by the time we kill these dudes, the enemies from the other area will be catching up. And so I think there should be one more coming in eventually. Dom, you want to maybe kill him? Oh, they're in the other spot. Fun. It's tap dancing over there. Gotta appreciate that. So now that they're dead, this door opens and we can go on through. Yeah, whatever.
Dang. Man, the intricacy of some of this stuff.
Yeah, and some of these are like semi-recent route developments, like shooting that guy downstairs on the Troika with the boom shot to kill him early. Usually you would have to like go all the way around and get him. It's definitely easier in Ultimate Edition. In Gears 1, trying to do that strat is rough. There's a tree in the way, and also the boom shot just doesn't explode as much.
Oh shit! Here they come!
But still really... What? Interesting. Still a really good way to speed that section up. Up here, this is the campaign setting for the multiplayer map Escalation, if people remember that.
Not now.
No booming. And again, the last Theron, we just don't care about him and keep going. You got the splice on command right there. If you hold forward, it teleports you back. I got a comment about that one time, and I was just like, no, it's not a splice. Just relax, play the game. There are other ways to tell anyway. Threw a frag! We're fine. Whenever Grenadiers have frags in hand, it's actually terrifying because you don't want to be so far back that the frag flinches you when it explodes, because like that can cause issues if there are other enemies. But you don't want to get too close because they can like basically 0 frame frag tag you. Like if you get right up to them for the shotgun, they will like frag tag you and you won't even know that it happened until you die, I guess. Do they prime it like when they drop it? Or is that just
It's gotta be another hole.
It's just like how the game interacts with like what the inputs are, like for frag plant, like for meleeing someone with a frag.
Yeah.
Right there, a nice long boom shot down the hallway, sealed an E-hole. That would spawn a whole bunch of enemies. And we keep going in. Right now, so like after entering in this entire building, this is actually the Fenix estate, Marcus Fenix estate. So we're back home for the main character.
Had these gates even back home, huh? That's where you learned to do it?
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's it. Yep, little bit of cover things. Going down into that room can actually be really dangerous if there's a Grenadier and a Lancer drone. They can be kicking the door and facing that and retreating, or they could be like right in your face when you go down there. And when that's the case, one goes for the chainsaw, one goes for like the insta body / double melee. Like they do all sorts of things. Oh, and that's one thing I haven't talked about at all. With the Nasher shotgun only, you can actually like throw out your melee hitbox and have it like hit twice, maybe even 3 times if you get like a really good timing on it and a really good angle. And it's useful as like a last resort for cleaning up an enemy if you run out, like you just don't have that one extra shot in your shotgun to shoot, or just, you know, you need a little something extra anyway. The downside is the enemies know how to abuse this for some reason, and
Oh, is that why I would sometimes just get one shot killed by them in melee?
yeah, they will definitely just straight up melee you, and you will get hit twice. You'll hear the thud thud, and you're gone.
Huh.
Marcus, it's open.
Let's see, lore update. We are in the Phoenix estate using that giant supercomputer in the wine cellar that exists for some reason. Uh-oh. He was going for it right there. But anyway, the resonator ended up not working out exactly how we thought. It was going to map out the Locust Tunnel network, but we realized it's way, way, way bigger. We come down to the Phoenix estate supercomputer. They got some extra data. They plugged some stuff in from a little device they found. And now we have the data, and we're on our way out to deliver it to the light mass bomb.
Oh, yeah.
We got a fun little room filled with wretches. Dom's 1v1 in the wretch down there, I think.
He seems like he's having some real issues with it.
I'm not entirely sure what's going on. You got him, dude. Just keep doing your best.
It hit him. I wonder, did that reset his AI or?
Here, let me set him to attack. Maybe that'll help.
Engage.
You got it, Dom. You got him on the ropes. I swear. Oh, he's down. He tried. Oh, we're just gonna leave him back there. See you later.
Front of the house, second story. Hurry up!
So we go up to the roof here, and again, a little bit of a holdout fight. So the junker car that we came in on, Baird's doing a little bit of maintenance on that. What the? Hello. And that's alive. But yeah, so we're just buying him time to get the repairs done, and in a little bit we're gonna go back there and meet him, peel out. We have to kill all these enemies, and there was a boomer that walked by with like a giant, like, I don't know, Greco-Roman pillar or something, battering ram to smash the door in. That one's actually invincible. Not even invincible, just invulnerable. Like nothing happens to him. The bullets just go straight through him. So you have to let him hit the door. Right there, I'm gonna set Dom to cease fire, because if he's still up top shooting out the window, some of the enemies won't approach into the doorway here. And it's a little bit faster this way. Uh-huh. Just cover things.
Yep. Little dance.
Yeah. Like,
Let's do this.
the drones and Dom and everyone else can practice their dancing. Why can't I?
I do really love that the AI said more locusts back of the house, and we shot like one guy back there. You're like, all right, great.
Yeah. So kill a few more enemies. We have to run all the way up here to get an angle on the propane tank that I shot, like kind of toward the end of that. Let's just kick this door open. I'm actually going to pick up a little bit more ammo for later. It's the pistol ammo that matters.
Yeah, how important is ammo conservation? I mean, obviously for the the single shot weapons like the torque bow and the sniper, it's pretty important. But for like the shotgun and the pistol, like
Yeah,
how tight is that?
Usually, shotgun usually it's not too big of an issue. pistol, you're fine most of the time, except for like this one part coming up, which is why I'm kind of stocking up in advance. The biggest thing that matters actually is the RNG on the boom shot drops earlier in the game, because like in Act 2 you need, I think, 7 to clear comfortably. But sometimes you can get dropped 6, and sometimes you can get 10, so you never know what you're gonna get.
And is that just to avoid like having to go pick up more grenades to close the E-holes?
It's to avoid picking up grenades. It's also because like sometimes you might not even have the grenades like available to pick up, the way the routing works.
Yeah, and then you just have to wait, I guess.
Yeah.
Dang.
I just love the headshot sound.
I've been thinking it this whole time, but man, the Gibbs in this game are so over the top.
Oh yeah. It is like some of the gore in this game is like beautiful. As much as I can say that without making me like a psycho killer.
It's just goofy at some points.
We're chilling. We're fine. I'm not really in cover. This cover sucks. Yep. We're fine. And this is one of my favorite features of Ultimate Edition, right in this doorway. The wave dashing wretch.
Oh. Man,
look at him go.
Just like your old man.
There you go.
Yeah, well, screw
The world may never know.
Look what happened.
He's just zooming.
Now his mapping.
He's vibing.
Somehow, I don't think he'd appreciate the irony.
Right here we got a whole bunch of wretches to kill. This is why I was stocking up on pistol ammo. Pretty much. Because without all this extra ammo, like you see how low I'm already running.
Yeah.
But we make that so fast with the pistol. I'm not gonna waste boom shots on them. That's for sure. And then the shotgun, I'd have to wait for them to get a little bit closer, or I'd just be like spraying all day. Oh, hi Dom. Alright, kill those 2 wretches, jump over. We save a little bit of time. If you sit on the other side of that sandbag, you get this dialogue sequence anyway after killing them, and so kind of lose like, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds crossing the cover coming up here.
Coordinate with control, get to those lines. We'll clear the park and meet you there.
We're on it.
Alright, here's another really tough section. The spawns, ooh, that might already mess me up, that little bit of movement. Spawns are really tight, and trying to get some of these booms down on the E-holes before any enemies spawn. Actually, I think we're okay. There's the other one. So we kill all those enemies. There's a dude up here hanging out on the Troika, unless he came downstairs. We'll find out in a second if that's the case. I'm gonna hit a few frags up there off the Heezy. And we're good. The steel door down at the other side opens up, and this is the last one.
Nice. Shout out to that grenade throwing anime, the predictive grenade path. That thing was incredible.
Yeah,
like, back in the day.
little, you can see where it's gonna bounce roughly. Sometimes it lies to you, but like overall, it's super nice to have like quality of life for this kind of game. A lot of times though, like in multiplayer, you might not want to sit there. The animation itself is kind of long and lengthy. So you want to make sure you're not vulnerable when you do it. A lot of people end up doing like little pop shot grenades where you like press the right trigger to start the throwing animation, but then you like pop the left trigger to aim in, and that'll give you the tracking for just like a split second, and you can aim with that. It's like a cool little technique that people can use. I'll do it.
There, we got this. Find those power lines.
You got it.
So boomers, yep, I'm invincible. How do you like that? A few boomers in there. There are going to be some wretches spawning in the back. Whatever. I'll let Dom deal with some of that while I pick up ammo. Where'd the other one go? And we're good.
Delta, the train commander reports that Locusts are heading their way. What's your status?
Approaching power lines now.
Be advised.
So there's a little bit of lore here. These are the like removed chapters that weren't in the original 360 version, but they were in the PC 2007 version, talking about like where the light mass bomb is, why you have to get there so quickly. Basically, the light mass bomb is being transported on this train that the Locusts are trying to hijack, and we're trying to get them before that happens. Spoiler: they fully hijack it. And so, like, just a couple lines of dialogue and information about that make it so that, like, if you're not playing this version, you're like, what the heck's going on? Potential volume warning. The bass drop on the so there's this giant dinosaur Brumak guy stomping around outside. Kind of funny that they removed it from Gears 1 originally. Not really sure why. It seems like this iconic monster, but we're gonna see one up here and we'll fight it a little bit later.
I was gonna say I thought there was one in Gears 1, but yeah, it's later.
Yeah, like they show it like randomly in a cutscene, but like in the 360 version, you don't do the boss fight against it. Like it's just not a thing. You see one. I don't even remember if you see one chasing you out of Act 4 or not. I don't quite remember. But yeah, we'll see it now. Right here, a little holdout fight. Because Jack has to do something, sicking a power line so that we can open a door. Or something like that. I don't know. Lore. It's like micro lore, not super relevant. It's just what we're doing. Right now, we see this Brumak walking down at us. Huge dude, arm turrets, giant like rocket launcher on top. Dom and Marcus, they're saying like, aim for his feet, aim for his feet. You don't want to aim for its feet. You just sit here, tell Marcus to cease fire and take cover. And you wait it out. If you shoot at this Brumak, it'll kind of stumble and slow it down. You pretty much are just waiting for it to get all the way to the end of its little track here, and it'll collapse part of the building. It is in the original cinematics? Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, at the end, like, when you're leaving Act 4, it might be chasing you out. Dom's over there in suspended animation. You're relieved. You can keep doing your thing.
Just checking out the architecture.
Yeah.
Rip that door.
Get him over there.
You guys make it out. Control, this is Delta. We've repaired the power lines, but there's a Brumak here. Please advise. Over.
So as you can hear, the radio, the communications are being jammed right now. So of course, that means it must be a cedar, and there's one inside of this old theater that we're entering right now. For some reason, no real clue how they got it in there.
Regroup with us behind this theater.
There has to be a back door. Let's split up. We'll find it faster.
I'll check the main hall.
You have a choice of going left or right, upstairs or into the main hall. Main hall is way faster, and it's not even close.
Marcus, found our seat.
Danger is, though, we have to deal with 2 Troika turrets pointed directly at us right when we round the corner, but we can frag those out with some nice frags. And you shoot that little backdrop down, it's going to take out the cedar. Although they seem like these big burly monsters, I'm not really sure how that is enough to kill it, but you know, I want to ask questions. Shoot the boom shot. That's so tight. Hitting this boom shot is really, really difficult, but as you can see, there's a mess of Therons like coming out from that hole. That's what we prevent by hitting it on time.
Given how everything in this game gives so easily, it seems like everything's held together with paper mache anyway, so.
Yeah. Whoop. That's, yep, just movement things.
Dead end. Can you move that wall?
Dom, let's go. Turn the wheel.
So we turn a wheel, we wait for Dom to do the same thing upstairs. Eventually. Oh, teleported. Where'd he go? He's doing it. Okay. Dom gets stuck a lot, and then the game just puts him in his place, if people haven't realized that by now. He usually just has no idea what's happening.
Yeah, it's nice that they, you know, you'd figure for a game like this, they wouldn't put any, like, instant teleports of NPCs in, because, you know, they just have them, like, running the whole way, but it's nice that they do that.
It's actually very convenient, because I would not want to put up with it sometimes.
Yeah. Be a lot more restarting checkpoint, just to bring them forward and stuff like that.
So, quick little rush there, a bunch of Nemesis dudes on turrets, drones. Fun little section when it goes right, and then like there are other times where you start getting lit up from the very start, and then it's not fun at all.
Yeah, and no freaking hammer.
So down here, again, no Hammer of Dawn, but we have another way of taking out the cedars creatively. Just crash a car full of propane onto it or something like that, and it blows up.
Control, this is Delta. Come in on ya.
Marcus, is that you?
Yeah, guys, we're playing Ultimate Edition, Gears Ultimate Edition. It's the remake of the original game.
Good. The Locusts are on board. They're throwing
And
out guards onto the tracks.
Nasher range is kind of ridiculous sometimes.
Your bridge is still inoperable.
I think more so in Ultimate than
You're
in
close to
Gears 1
T-Max
original.
central energy.
I'm gonna
Power
be
can
real.
restored. That will be the place
But it's
to
still
do
pretty
it.
big.
Roger that. We're headed there now. Delta out.
Gears 2, it's a freaking sniper rifle, though. You hard L-aim someone across the map.
Incoming frag!
I don't like what that guy's cooking. Alright, so we leave one guy behind there. It doesn't matter. One of those dudes that we just don't have to kill. Technically, I don't even have to kill these Wretches. I actually hit a double melee on there. One swing took out 2 Wretches with the different sides of the hitbox. Where are my torque bows at? Alright, we're just gonna not do it then. No torque, we'll figure it out. This is one of those like risky tricks on Series X that hopefully I'll just give it a couple tries. Or maybe more than a couple, just a few tries while I'm under fire from all angles. But it feels like the lineup gets messed up by having better frames for some reason. Like, I don't know, it's just feels so much easier on Xbox One for some reason than Series X. Here we are. The idea here is that I'm trying to get... Can you guys stop torquing me, please? The idea is I'm trying to get on top of this sandbag, and I am just completely choking it up right now. Oh my god.
It seems super precise.
It is, and it's like there's not even like a great lineup for it just because of how the cover works here. There we go. Just have to kind of feel it out.
Nice.
And then even after you get on top of here, you have to run all the way down, hoping that... Ooh! We're fine. You missed. Hoping that they don't torque you out. Then come over here. There's a precise angle to kind of run and drop down fully out of the map now. And when I come back in, hopefully the map stays deloaded enough. This is where having really good loads is actually detrimental. But we have enough time on that one, it works. We can come back into the map. There are certain barriers that would reload, and then once the map reloads, we kick this door, which is the trigger for the next section. And then we're not even done. This is like kind of like, it's 2 different tricks, but it's, the way it works is like all one continuous sequence. Oh no, you're not. There we go. So we're running past those Wretches, Again, more enemies that we don't have to kill, at least not right now. And we're going to be running forward, kicking nothing, sick. We're going to be running forward, clearing the enemies in the next area. There are like 3 checkpoints that I've missed right now, by the way. So if something goes wrong, we are reverted heavily. Good. And we're going to come up here. There are going to be a bunch of wretches as well that we leave alive. Trying to only kill the humanoid ones. There's a few torque bows hanging out. A few drones. There's a grenadier. Oh. Yo. Chill. Just going to play it super safe. The grenadier was like walking back. We're not even going to mess with him yet. And now that we've killed all the humanoid enemies, we run all the way back to where we came from, because this is hopefully going to kind of deload the area that we're going into next. As soon as we kill some of these wretches, I'm gonna spam skip checkpoint, skip cutscene, and we're gonna run forward. Oh, we're definitely in there. Let's go.
Oh wow.
And it deloads. Let me show what happened here. It actually deloads the staircase, deloads some barrels that we can run through and get to this next part. What it's skipping is like 7 different enemies on the way. There's a dialogue sequence, and just the slowness of it makes you walk all the way around. You can hit these big red wheels in an optimal order. It's such a good skip. And so if your loads are a little bit too fast there, what can happen is you might not get all the way past the stairs before they load in. Or even worse, you get like right up into them, or like you get stuck on the barrel and you have to reload the checkpoint. Right there, I ran all the way up to the top to kind of trigger a couple enemies that would have been triggered normally. Sometimes they get stuck down here. But yeah, no, that went very well. Where's dude? Then we go in here, and we're going to be very careful here because this is another one of those sections where we've just skipped so many checkpoints. Getting set back here is awful. It's a really dark room. They kind of spawn when you're halfway into the room, so like sometimes they sneak up on you, get chainsaws or double melees, or like they're just doing all sorts of different things. We're clean though.
Okay, we're done. Wait. Oh, shit!
Now what?
Power levels are good, but we need to...
So here's where we're finally going to get that Brumak boss fight.
We can't. We'll need a full set of tools, enough rated cable to connect 2 transform blocks, an interrupt to manage levels.
What the hell?
Talking about some side plot stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to use the Brumak as a way to connect the transformers and hit a giant jump start on the whole system.
Something big enough to fit between those things out front?
I think I
don't know, some kind of electrical engineer is probably like, well, actually,
Back to chase us.
that does not work like that.
Up till now.
There. Open the back door for us.
Can't believe they're delegitimizing all of the totally real electrical engineers that worked on this game and said, yeah, man, that's possible. They got this.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did, right? Like, I could be the wrong
Yeah.
one. I'm not the one with an electrical degree, so like, how am I really gonna know? So the whole thing here, this Brumak, you want to shoot the arm guns. And I'm getting low on pistol ammo. I'm gonna save a little bit of that. But once you shoot the arm guns enough, they explode. And we're actually getting a convenient pattern here where it's not bullying me too... hold on. Not bullying me too aggressively. This fight, even on casual, is rough. And on insane, it is a nightmare. But we make light work of that. We got good RNG,
Wow.
good shots.
That was really good.
He's out of there.
Snipers!
Peek me.
There!
No.
This is like a Halo 1 pistol, man. This does so much damage.
So here, after the snipers up top, there are going to be a bunch of E-holes spawning around in the area, and we're going to tell our teammates to cease fire, actually, because there's, after this wretch comes up on the side, there's going to be another E-hole that spawns. But what's really the time waste on this section is the snipers that are connected to each other. So we prolong as long as possible so that the sniper up top can spawn. There's this solid fence over here that we can just shoot a giant rocket through. No real issues. And yeah, this section's looking good.
Sweet.
We'll see if I actually hit this shot. Waiting for that sniper to spawn, like I said. It's the holdup on the whole area. And we're out of there.
Let's go!
The wall bounced to push it out of the way.
Yeah. Even the giant like shipping crates ragdoll, they lose all of their weight and like, you knock them around.
Yeah.
You gotta get going now.
Let's move out.
We're finally on that train that's been hijacked by the Locust, and so of course, if it's been hijacked, they've got strength in numbers here. Lots of dudes with lancers, lots of dudes with torque bows trying to stick you with explosives or insta-kill you with the chainsaw.
Nice.
Scary. But we just kind of take our time, move up through it mostly safely. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't do it. I do not want a Boltok game.
Nemesis on the radar.
Alright, well that's what I've got now.
Not good.
The Boltok in Gears 1 and Ultimate Edition is not great.
Open this door.
It's like kind of a heavy revolver pistol, but it shoots very, very slowly.
Are you kidding me? Berserker!
We time that grenade right before a little cutscene hits, where it's flying through the air and it'll land in its spot right after the cutscene. There's a Berserker that like comes out of a like Frosted Flakes shipping container or something like that. I think there's cereal back there.
Hell no.
The door's open, Marcus. Move.
But yeah, just we don't even get to see it. We blow up the big gas can and detach the whole back of the train, and so it just flies away.
Affirmative.
Here they come.
Where's
Take cover!
yo, chill.
Nice. Let's keep moving.
Delta, good news. You've got chain guns on the roof of your car.
Gotta get to
The train section's just really fun because it's a lot of that close quarters, Nasher Fest sort of thing. Anyone who plays multiplayer, like this is going to be your favorite part of the run, just bouncing around, hitting stuff. It's really satisfying.
Ugliest damn thing I've ever seen.
So we come up top here, and there are a bunch of these Reavers, essentially the mounted cavalry for the Locusts that I think we don't see very frequently in Gears 1, but we see them all the time in Gears 2 and like other games. Thankfully, they give us a Troika turret, and we just sit up here and blast them all, kind of trying to manage the camera shake as best we can. And at the end of all of these, there's going to be one that flies overhead to let us know that we're done.
And then there were none.
Yeah, dudes, the coal train runs on whole grain, baby. You already know.
We need to get to that bomb.
Right there at the top and bottom of the ladder, we pick up some torque bow. We're maxed out. We have 12 bolts. And that's...
You've got wretches.
It used to be... I guess I could stop doing that, but it used to be for the final boss battle against General Ram, the guy that stabbed Kim at the very, very beginning of the game that we saw in one other cutscene. And by we saw, I mean those who played casually saw it, and not in the speedrun, because cutscenes are slow. But... Anyway, the big bad fight is coming up, and traditionally you would shoot him a whole bunch with torque bow and just different kind of weapons, trying to take him out. I'm gonna go for a little bit of a It's like a quick kill, but it's also a meme kill, because like when it doesn't work, you just look stupid. But I'm still gonna go for it. Making great time, by the way.
I mean, what are speedruns all for to showcase, if not just going for the absolute memeiest kills as possible?
Yeah.
Swag
So
strats.
yeah, exactly. Maximum swag required.
Yeah.
That's why I was so bummed out I didn't get on that piano, but we hit the moonwalks. Yeah, I'm doing the turret strat. Right here, a whole bunch of wretches spawning. We're waiting for our robot friend Jack to open up another door. And we're hanging out, killing them as they spawn up top. Halfway through, we'll switch sides, do it again.
Scratch one grub.
They're just taking a long time to spawn.
Yeah. I was
I feel-
thinking, like, man, this is a pretty long time.
I feel like there's a little bit of RNG to it, but yeah. What? This is why I hate having a bull talk.
Oh yeah.
You've only got a few more seconds.
We'll pick you up as soon as we plant the data.
Yeah, I think I am actually on PB pace for this game. I grinded Gears 1 for like 2 years straight, but I never did like the same maximum effort grind on Ultimate Edition, so this is actually looking really good right now. Right there are a whole bunch of wretches that we don't have to kill, but it's in our benefit to kill them, because Dom likes to stop and kill them instead if you don't, and you need him to cross the bridge to come over here.
You're approaching target. GPS shows that you've picked up speed. You don't have much time.
Let's go. We're almost there.
Zoop. All right, yeah, we've just got the final fight of the game against Rom, so time's coming up soon-ish. And if we get that quick kill, it'll be sooner than later.
Let's do this.
So first things first, we're just gonna run at him, because why not? Why wouldn't we do that? Rom is this big, like, senior Theron kind of guy with a giant krill shield about him. And you need to use explosives to blast the krill off of him, and that is fascinating game. That is fascinating game.
Oh, dang.
Okay. We'll just do it again. The torque bow shot didn't pop the krill off of him, because I guess it was just a little bit too early there. Oh, now he's doing weird stuff. No, now he's doing weird stuff. Don't make me do old strats. Come on. Oh, you're done. You're so done. That's time right there.
Nice.
Hey, not bad. I'll take it. It's basically the first try. The first one wasn't even real. It was like the 0th.
Let's do this.
But yeah, that's pretty much the game. Gears Ultimate Edition. I don't know. I guess shout outs and plugs. If you guys had fun, come through on my stream, I guess. Just Twitch TV/Flurby. I play a lot of different Gears games, Gears speedruns. I'm kind of rotating around between Ultimate Edition, Gears 4, and the DLC category for Gears 5, Hive Busters. Those are kind of like the rotation right now. I play a bunch of other games. I'm doing a lot of Dead by Daylight recently. Got a few hours on Survivor. I'm alright at the game, you know. And got a YouTube channel, also YouTube/Flurby, putting out some good videos. I got some good stuff coming up. Just hit 500 subs, so that was pretty sick, pretty pog. And hit me up on Twitter, FlurbyTG, I guess, if that's your thing. And I guess just shout outs to some of the homies I saw come through from my chat. Appreciate all of you, and special shout out to a streamer friend of mine, Jervalen. Saw him, he like rated the chat earlier, I think. He's super big Halo runner, Halo challenge runner. He was the winner of the Moist Critical
yeah,
challenge.
that's where I remember him from.
Yeah, and so he's dope, so shout outs to him. And shout outs to Waifu, he was going to commentate today, but unfortunately couldn't make it, but you're still cool. I think that's pretty much it. Let me hit people with a few more lip rolls. And that's it.
Yeah. I mean, if people want to learn this game, you just check out the speedrun.com page, check out the Discord.
Yeah, definitely. If people are interested, there aren't a whole lot of runners in the Gears community. People come on and off. I'm usually the most active person, but there's a link to a Gears Runners Discord channel on speedrun.com that you can find. You can hop in there. You can hop in my Discord. Just like anywhere, start asking questions. Just do a run, see how you like it, see how it feels. Some of the runs are longer than others. Some of them are like, more mechanically intensive. Some are more trick based. They're fun. So definitely looking forward to having more runners in the future potentially. And also we were talking about like pre-stream about like I one day hope to have some kind of randomizer stuff. Seeing the Majora's Mask bit before really got me. I hope somehow we can figure out a Gears randomizer one day. That'd be like the pinnacle.
Yeah, that would be awesome.